Hey everybody, it's Tia, and today's video is going to be on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta episode 7. Okay, before I start my recap, I just want to say that this is my hair, my natural hair here. I haven't worn it like this in all the videos that I've done. I've had my hair short in a scrunchie where they pull all your hair up, so nobody can really see the actual length of my hair. So this is no wigs, no weave, or nothing. This is my hair. I know it might look a little rough, you know, but this is my hair, and I want to try and wear it like this for a video or two. So hope you like to see the actual me, hair down and everything. Okay, so I just want to say that first. All my hair. So let's get started with this recap. Okay, so first thing starts off with Mimi and K Michelle. Mimi meets K Michelle at studio, and K Michelle asked Mimi how she's doing, how's her daughter, and Mimi said, oh, she's good, but the baby father is another issue. So she goes to talk about how she was dropping off Stevie J's stuff and everything like that. So, you know, Mimi also says, you know, we really need to have some counseling, the two of us. And so K Michelle says, what's the counseling for? Is it for you and him to be back together? Is it so that you and him can co-parent your daughter? What's it for? And Mimi just basically said it's for us to be able to communicate, period. And K Michelle said, okay. She said, you know what, I wrote a song based on what you were going through and how you feeling. She said, check this out. So she played the song, and y'all was real nice. I mean, K Michelle sung her heart out like it was about her. Talking about she had been with the man for 11 years and she's tired of taking his stuff. She ain't taking the stuff no longer. She's tired of all the fighting, and Mimi's just listening. She's like, oh. She said, you went there. And then one part said, I'm not going to kiss you. You can kiss my ass. You can kiss my ass. And Kim said, you can kiss my ass like that there. And they start laughing because that's part of the song. And that pretty much ends the scene with the two of them. So you get to the next scene, which is Karlie and Malcolm. Karlie meets Malcolm, I believe, at a hotel lobby. And they're sitting inside somewhere where there's couches and things like that. Now, Karlie is very surprised that Malcolm wants to see her, because she says that he doesn't seem to be interested in her career or managing her like he should. So again, she's very shocked that he wants to see her. So they sit down, and Malcolm asks her how she's doing, and Karlie said, I'm doing pretty good. You know, I'm trying to get my clothing line together. I'm trying to get my hairline, my gloss line, and I think she said her perfume line. She needs about 5 damn things, y'all. You know, I'm trying to get all this together. And Malcolm said, you really need to work on and focus on your rap career. And she kind of gives him this look. Malcolm goes to ask her about Benzino. She says, so what's this I hear about you and Benzino? And Karlie tried to play stupid. What's a Benzino? Who's that? What you talking about? Malcolm said, come on, Karlie, you and Benzino. I heard about you and Benzino. What's going on with you and this Benzino guy? And so Karlie said, we're dating. We're having a good time. We're moving forward. She said, I like his company. He likes me. I like being around him. I really like him. And so Malcolm goes on to tell her, you know, I don't think you should be seeing this guy. He's not about nothing. He's not really interested in you like he should be. He's a cold person. He's not into the business like he should be. I don't think he can help your rap career. He's not really about nothing. I don't even know why you're even with this guy. And Karlie gets shocked, like, what you mean? Why he gotta be a cold person? I think he's a great person. I think he can help me in my rap career if need be. That's not why I'm seeing him. I really like him and like his company. I like what he's about. And who's to say he can't help me? But I like being around him. And Malcolm basically is telling her that he really just can't see that, and she really needs to focus on her career. He said, well, you know what? You can't have a rap career and be in love. He said, which one is it? Do you want to be in love, or do you want to have your career? And she kind of looks at him, and that ends the scene with the two of them. Very strange. So you get to the next scene, which is Joseline and Stevie J. Joseline's in the studio singing her little Spanish rap and everything, and there's another producer that's looking over what she's doing. In walks Stevie J, y'all. Like he just knew where she was. Oh, what's up? What's up, Joseline? This is how you gonna do? You gonna do studio time and work with somebody else and not let me know what's going on? You just gonna work behind my back like this? You gonna just do me like this, Joseline? Joseline's like, you know, that whatever look and sipping her little drink. So he said, let me holler at you for a minute. So the two of them sit down, and there's no other producer in sight. It's just the two of them, and he's like, you know, what's going on? He's like, why are you trying to book stuff like this without me? And she said, you know, I just want to do stuff on my own, Stevie. I just want to be by myself. I don't want to have nothing to do with you. I just want to do me and work. You're not pushing the music out like I want. And, you know, it just kind of went on and on. He's like, you know what? You're a lightweight in this whole thing. You know I can shut you down if I want to. She says, shut me down, Stevie. Shut me down. Shut me down. He said, but I'm not going to do that. She said, you can do what you want. You want to shut me down? Shut me down. He said, but I'm not going to do that. And she said, you know what, you just want all this of me, and I don't want that. I just want to be left alone. And he said, you know what? He said, you know what I think the problem is? And she said, what? He said, because we're fucking. And she said, oh really? And he said, yeah, we're going to have to stop fucking. She said, oh really? So she gets up, y'all, with her little shirt on and her little booty shorts. You want to stop fucking this, Stevie? You want to stop fucking this? You can't stop fucking this, Stevie. Even if you want to, you can't stop it. Stevie putting his hand over his face like this and smiling. You can't stop it even if you want to. And then she y'all, Joseline the mess. And then she sits back down. So Stevie J says, you know, it's not about that. He said, I just don't understand why you keep doing this. And then on the side note, Joseline says, you know, Stevie wants 100% of me. He wants this. He wants that, which is pointing towards a coochie, y'all. And he wants this, but he can't have all of this. He wants 100%. He can't have all of that. And then she tells him, you know, I think you just trying to compete with me, and you kind of jealous of me, and that's why you don't want me to succeed like you want to. I don't know where she keeps getting this thing that he's trying to compete with her. I don't get that, but that's what she keeps saying, y'all. So that's in her head what she thinks. And she's saying, you know, why won't you just really let this go? Let me out of the 30% that you have of me and let me do me. And Stevie J says, no, I'm not going to do that. You know why? Because you're a superstar. And I'm not going to let that go. And she just kind of looks at him. And y'all, that ends the scene with the two of them. Child fool. I don't know what to say about them two. So then you get to the next scene, which is Rasheeda and Kirk. So Rasheeda is folding clothes. She's waiting for Kirk to come downstairs, and they get to talking. She said, you know, you always said to me, if there was ever a point in time where our relationship was in a certain turmoil, certain trouble, we could talk about it and work it out. So she said, I want to talk about it and work it out. She said, you know, you mentioned to me that you didn't think I loved you. You questioned my love for you, and for you to question my love is small. That's what Rasheeda said. So Kirk begins to say, you know, I want to have more of the Rasheeda that I'm used to. I want more Rasheeda time. The Rasheeda that where we go to the Waffle House and you want more eggs and more bacon, or you want more sausage. I forgot what he said, y'all. That's the kind of Rasheeda I want to have back. And he says, you know, I just can't understand why you acting like this is like I'm not giving you what you wanted and that I didn't do enough for you. And she says, you know, I recognize that. She said, if it wasn't for you, I don't know where I would be. And she starts to cry a little bit. And so you know, Kurt says, you know, I don't get this stuff that you've been trying to do for so many years. You know, you put off trying to have kids and everything because you had to be a rapper. You had to be this, you had to be that. He said, who does that? Who takes time off not to have kids because they have to be a rapper? So you can't be a rapper. You can't be a rapper and have kids and be this person, that person. You can only just be this one way. I don't understand that. So Rasheeda goes to tell him, you know, I think it's best that you step down from managing me, and that I get another management team to take over and see how that goes from there, because I don't want this to affect our relationship any more than it has. I don't want to get any worse, and I think it would be better if you take a step down and we have another management team just to see how it works out and go from there. Kurt basically says he doesn't want to talk about it, he just wants to do it. And that is the scene. scene with the two of them. So you get to the next scene, which is Karlie and Benzino. So Karlie's at Benzino's house. She's in the bed, and Benzino fixes breakfast for her: eggs, toast, strawberries, and stuff like that. Gives it to her on the bed with the table, and surprised her with breakfast, I guess. And he says, I have another surprise for you. So he gave her this little box, and she opens it up, and it's a key. She said, a key? He's like, yeah, it's a key to my house. She's like, really? She said, oh my goodness. She said, are we ready for this? Are we ready for that next step? And he said, well, I think so. I care about you. I like being with you. I want to take that next step in our relationship, and I think this is the best way. Basically, is what he said. So she kind of like shakes her head, and then she holds her head down and gets upset. So then he said, what's wrong? So here you go, y'all. She goes to tell Benzino about Malcolm. She said, well, I had a meeting with my manager Malcolm the other day, and we was talking about you. And I was telling him that we were dating. He goes on to tell me that I shouldn't date you, that you're not about nothing, that you're a cold person. He said, cold person? Yeah, and that you can't help me with my career, and that you're no good, and I need to think about who I'm trying to date and everything, and I just need to be alone and be in my rap career. And he said, wait. First of all, I know it's your manager and everything, but he doesn't know everything about you. He said all the stuff about what people heard about me on the internet and what people said about me and these rumors and stuff. He said that's all they are. He said you need to make your decision for yourself and make your decision about me based on what you feel. You need to do things on how you feel and what's about you, not about what other people tell you and what other people heard. Do the things, make your decisions for you. And I agree with Benzino about that. You don't really care for Benzino. I like what he had to say. Like, don't listen to what a whole bunch of other people are saying. In the end, it's about you and how you feel about that person. And you make a decision based on what you feel, not what other people say. Because they might not know everything, and they're just throwing what they think they know. So, she kind of holds her head down, and she starts sniffing, and he starts sniffing. And, again, Benzino said you gotta do what's in your heart, and Benzino says that he's not going to quit on them. He's in it for the long haul. He wants to be with her. And Karlie says, well, can we figure this out? She's going to say, can we figure this out? And Benzino says, you gotta figure it out, because I can't go through this, And I'm thinking, he's right about that. But how did they go from being this happy-go-lucky couple all the way from 0 to 100, and now they gotta work through problems that couples work through? Oh, this he said, she said stuff. To me, it's high school stuff anyway. And all of a sudden they're happy-go-lucky, and now they're like this. I mean, that's too fast. I know that it's not a week's difference with them, that the longevity that they shoot these scenes is a lot longer. But damn, y'all, they ain't been together that damn long. Now all of a sudden, now she gotta think about whether or not she wants to break up with the dude. I'm like, come on now, that's some drama for your ass. I'm not saying it can't happen, but happy to sad to drama like that, I don't know, it's just a little too weird. But anyway, that's what he said to her, and then that ends the scene with the two of them. So you get to the next scene, which is Mimi and Stevie J and Erica. Now Erica's not shown that much in this episode, just really in this scene with Mimi. They go out to listen to this outdoor concert that Atlanta is sponsoring, and they're just trying to unwind and enjoy the night. And all of a sudden the announcer announces that Stevie J is going to perform. Mimi gets mad and upset because she didn't think Stevie J was going to be there. She wasn't planning on him being there, supposedly, y'all, and she just didn't want to even see the dude. So he gets up there and dedicates a song to Mimi. He said, I'm dedicating this to my girl. So he sings a song about tired of going through the fussing and fighting, and they don't want cops coming to the door, and he just wants to love her and stuff like that. And she's kind of like listening and kind of like squinting and stuff like that. And on a side note, Mimi says, shoot, you talking about you don't want to fuss and fight, you don't want no cops coming at the door, you gonna sing some song like that to me? It better be much harder than that. Well, go ahead, Mimi. But damn, Mimi. So anyway, song's over, and then the announcer says, Mimi, Stevie J said that he loves you. Stevie J said that he loves you, and she does like one of those things to acknowledge that she heard the announcer. So then all of a sudden her and Erica are talking. All of a sudden up walks Stevie J. Yeah, can I talk to you for a minute? Can we talk? So I guess she says okay. So he takes her hand. She gets up and they walk away from the scene so the two of them can talk privately. So Stevie J says, you know, I sung my heart out for you. And he says, you know, I really care about you. She said, okay, let's talk about the lyrics. Say the lyrics again for me. So he goes to say the lyrics, and she's like, you know, you talking about all that kind of stuff. That's the stuff that I'm going through with you. That's not the stuff that I did. And he says, you know, but I'm just tired of the whole thing. He says, you know, I don't want to beef with you anymore. And you know, this is when Mimi starts to break down. She says, you don't know how much you hurt me. You hurt me to the core. And then she starts to cry. And, you know, she got her stiff upper lip on. You know, she's like this and tear coming down her face like that. And she's just like, it's not funny, y'all, but I'm just saying that's how she was. I mean, she was trying really hard to hold that firmness, that anger, but that sadness at the same time. And he says, you know, he says that, he'll fix it if she lets him. And he told her that he loved her, and he said that I think he said he was sorry, but he just kept trying to kiss her face. And he's like, I'll fix it, I swear I'll fix it. He said, I love you, and I'll fix it if you let me. And so then Stevie J said, let's get out of here. And then they walk off together, and that ends the scene with the two of them. So you get to the next scene, which is Lil Scrappy and Shay, and they're supposedly at a pool hall because they're playing pool. So then they get a chance to sit down, and Shay asks Lil Scrappy what's wrong, and Lil Scrappy goes to tell her about his child support issue with Erica. He's like, you know, me and Erica was talking, you know, and I was telling her that I got this lump sum. If you let me give you the lump sum, you'll take me off child support. And Erica agreed. And all of a sudden, now that I got everything set up and got the account in my baby's name where I can give her the money, she don't wanna follow through on her promise. Now she's reneging, and now she still want to keep me on child support. You feel me? I don't think it's fair. I think she's just trying to take this child support and hang it over my head. So that's her way of still trying to deal with me and be with me. First of all, Scrappy, your ass is lying. You telling Shay one thing, and Shay's believing you because she don't think your ass is lying. Erica had just told everybody that he said that he would give the lump sum, but every time she asked him about it, he keeps coming up with excuses about he didn't get around to it, he didn't want to do it, he didn't feel like doing it, and stuff like that. And we did see that. So Lil Scrappy is not telling Shay the truth, y'all. And of course Shay is buying it because she believes Scrappy. She believes he ain't lying. And she said, well, you know, I think Erica's being bogus. And Lil Scrappy's like, yeah, I'm gonna hook myself up with a lawyer. I'm gonna have a lawyer on the side just in case things get worse, or just in case I need a lawyer. I'm gonna have a lawyer. And this is the part that was good. Shay said that she doesn't think that he should get a lawyer involved at all, and that they should work it out between the two of them. And I agree with that. Sometimes you do need a lawyer, but Scrappy need to come clean and tell Shay everything instead of just telling her what she wants her to know. Because if she knew what the real deal was, she would probably think a lot differently about Erica and about Scrappy. Scrappy little ass just wants to sit there and play both sides. Well, Erica's doing this and Erica's doing that. But I mean, be for real. If your ass said you was going to give her a lump sum, then you can't be all slip around the lips and act like you can't do it, or act like you can't do it fast enough. That's important because that's your child that she's talking about. And all the stuff about she's trying to dangle the child support, she don't want your ass like that. She wants you. But if she can't have you, she definitely wants your ass to pay for child support, regardless of that she can't be with you. And I don't think she's holding that over his head. But that's what his ass think, y'all. So after Shay said that, they kiss, and that ends the scene with the two of them. So you get to the next scene, which is K. Michelle and Steven. And I wasn't able to write his last name down because I was trying to write so fast, y'all. He's a football player. I've never heard of him before. I've never seen him before. Y'all probably have. I don't watch that much football, so I didn't know who the dude was. He was a cute guy. But this whole restaurant scene was just straight out of the fucking Twilight Zone. I don't know what to say about the two of them, but it goes more like this. She meets up with him, and you know, he asks her how she's doing, and she asks him how he's doing. They exchange pleasantries, and then he goes to ask her what she wants in a man. I really can't remember what K. Michelle said. Something like, oh, I'm looking for a man in my life, somebody to make me happy, somebody to treat me good, and all this and that. So K. Michelle goes to tell Steven, you know, I think you're fat. And he said, oh, you think I'm fat, huh? Pretty hot and tempting. And she said, no, I didn't say that. He said, but that's what fat stands for, pretty hot and tempting. Oh, you didn't think I knew that. So they get this little joke about that. And then she says, you know, I want you to lick your lips. Lick your lips for me. And he said, why? He said, I just want you to lick your lips. Lick your lips like LL Cool J does. Lick your lips like he does in the videos. Lick your lips like he does in person. Lick your lips like LL Cool J. I'm like, well, damn, if you got a fascination, well, LL Cool J is married. But she's all fascinated with him licking his lips. So he goes to lick his lips. And she said, yeah. She said, I like that. She said, yeah, you're all right. You're all right. And, you know, Steven goes to tell her that, you know, I really want to watch a game. I want to do something else, I guess, besides sit there. So she's looking at him like, oh, you do? And he's like, yeah. And so they get into this little innuendo thing. And then she says she likes the way he licked his lips. So he said, really? So then he goes to give her a kiss, a nice little smooth kiss. Now, we didn't see the kiss like Karlie and Benzino ass kiss. Yeah. But they kissed, but we just saw like half their face. And so after he kisses her about 2 or 3 different times, real nice smooth kisses, she all of a sudden you see her get on top of him and topple him and kiss him, and that ends the scene. Y'all, what the fuck was that? They didn't even need to put that scene in there. That was, like I said, that was straight out of Twilight Zone. I don't know what the fuck that was. It was weird as hell. I'm thinking like, am I really watching this? Because this is some weird shit. So anyway, you get to the next scene, which is Karlie, Vince, and Benzino. Vince, as in the producer for Lady Gaga, and Tamar's husband, Tamar Braxton. Yes, y'all, that Vince. So Vince and Benzino is at the studio, and Karlie meets them there. So she gets there, and before she gets there though, Vincent said that he likes Karlie's music. So she gets there, she gives Benzino a kiss, she speaks to Vince, and Vince says, you know, does she feel it deep in her gut when she raps? Like, this is something that she really truly wants to do. And Karlie said yes, and he said okay. He said that's good. He said, you know, I really like your music. It's very, very good. He said I would love for you to work with my producers and also work with Big Sean. And Karlie's excited and happy and everything like that. And on the side note, she says, see, Malcolm, I guess Benzino can come through for me and help me out in my career. And she clapping and hugging, and she gives Benzino a kiss. And y'all, that ends the scene with the 3 of them. So that was a nice scene. So hopefully she can get this rap career going, y'all. We'll see. So next scene starts off with K. Michelle and Robert, her ex. So they meet up at a restaurant, and K. Michelle's trying to figure out why she keep dating the guys that she's dating, and she can't. She keeps picking the wrong men. She says, you know, I don't understand why I keep picking the wrong men. And Robert says, you know, this is how you are. Okay, I'm K. Michelle. I met this guy. We're doing good. We're compatible. We look good. Everything's good. So he's perfect for me. And he said that's not the way you should do it. You really need to find a guy that has the compassion and has the components that you need in a relationship to work. You're meeting all these guys, and what they're about is not what you're really looking for. And she was saying, yeah, you know, I meet these guys that have gold tee and thugs and stuff like that. And she said maybe that's what I should steer away from. And so Robert said, yeah, you need to look at your history. Look at your history. That proves that you're not meeting the right guys. And, you know, Robert says that she doesn't want to pursue the guys that can give her what she wants. And K. Michelle says, you know, maybe she is picking the wrong guys, but, you know, she said being alone and doing stuff by herself ain't working for her. And that pretty much ends the scene with the 2 of them. So you get to the last scene, y'all, which is Mimi, Stevie J, and their therapist, Jeff Gardet. Now, for all you old heads, that's my age and older, and maybe a little bit younger, I know Jeffrey Gardet from Sally Jesse Raphael. Y'all remember her, the talk show host? He used to be on her show, excuse me, out damn there. Every time she had conflict with family, he was on there. I think he's been on Piers Morgan's show recently and some other stuff, but that's where I remember Jeff Gardet from. So when I saw him, I'm like, oh, that's my boy Jeff. Yeah, y'all. I remember him very well from then. So, I'm sorry, y'all. So, they're at the therapy office. They all meet up together, and Mimi starts off by basically saying that she is tired of the lying. And Jeff says, okay, so Stevie J is a liar, so she's calling you a liar. You are a liar, right? And he didn't want to fess up to it. Jeff said, listen, I'm not trying to beat you over the head. I just want you to own what it is. You are a liar. And Stevie J said, yeah, I'm a liar. Mimi was very happy about that because she knew he was a liar all this time, but she was just surprised that he actually admitted it. So they go on to talk about the next stuff. Jeffrey asked Stevie, does he love Mimi? And he said he loves her, but he's not in love with her. And they go on to talk about other things. He said there's other things that's pressing our issue. And Jeffrey said, what is it? He said, well, I got one of my artists pregnant. And Mimi said, in the side note, you know, you can't act like you just bumped into her. Like, you just bumped in, all of a sudden she got pregnant. Y'all was messing around for a long time, and you got pregnant. So Stevie J admits to getting Joseline pregnant. And so Jeffrey says, oh, so you were hitting that on the regular, huh? And he said, yeah, for like a good month or so. Okay, y'all, whatever. That's what he said. So, so Jeffrey asked Stevie J, was he in love with Joseline? And he said, no, he said, do you love Joseline? He said, well, you know, I mean, yeah, I guess you could say that. You know, you know, as far as kicking it with her and hanging out with her and everything, yeah. He said, but I love Mimi. So Stevie said he wants to get back to the way they were, and Mimi said, wait a minute, before we go back, before that happens, are you still gonna do you like you've been doing with being with all these women? He said, I ain't been with no woman. I ain't been with no woman in a long time. He said, I ain't been with Joseline. We just been working. I haven't been with nobody. I just want to be with you. Basically, is what he said. So so Jeffrey said, so there's been other women. He was like she wants to say, not, you know, other women, how many? Because it's been more than just other women. So that's the way she didn't say it, y'all. That was the expression she got. So, you know, Jeffrey goes on to say, you know, I have to say this. Why do men cheat? And he said, we cheat. They cheat because we let them. And Mimi was shaking her head. I mean, nodding her head. And Jeffrey said, you know, Mimi, you need to change too. You know, it's not just about Stevie J. You need to change as well. So Jeffrey says, you know, let's talk about something that we need to talk about. Let's talk about your mother. So she goes on to talk about how her mom was into Scientology and that she never was really close to her mom up until maybe the last couple of years of her life because she was so into Scientology. Mimi said at the age of 13, Scientology wanted her to sign the contract. She refused to do so, so they kicked her out of the religion, and that meant she was pretty much left alone. They didn't go into talking about who raised her, but she didn't really have a mom all her productive years of her life. And she said even when she died being in Scientology because that was all she was about, and she couldn't see giving it up or doing anything else but just being a part of that life. And Mimi said it really hurt her because she didn't have a mom in her life, and it really affected her as a person because she needed her mom, and her mom wasn't about trying to be there for her, you know, I guess until later years in her life. So she said they weren't close for many years. So then Jeffrey says, you know, he asked Stevie J, let's talk about your mom. And Stevie J said he never knew his mom, he never met her. He said that his father raised them, and Jeffrey said, God bless you, that's good, but you need to, you're morally wounded because because you don't have your mom in your life, and you know you need to acknowledge that. And Stevie J said that he can't think about it, and Mimi said, listen, I don't want to really fight with you. I'm not against you. I just want us to work together. And then they hug, and y'all, that's the end of the scene with that, and that's the end of the show. So next week, like, it's gonna be really good. Jocelyn's gonna come to the session with them, and it's gonna be something else, y'all. But that's it, y'all. That's the end of my recap. So don't forget to comment, rate, and if you're not a subscriber, then please subscribe to my channel, okay? Alright, everybody, again, I want to thank you for watching. Y'all take care. Y'all have a good evening, and I hope to see you in the next video, okay? Alright, everybody, take care. Bye bye.